I used to have long hair, but I cut it off because I got tired of looking like the old guy that sold me weed when I was a kid. That's what I saw when I looked in the mirror. I saw my dad. Oh, shit, there he is. Have a seat. Ain't been nothing, sir. My name's Dale. I'll get you caught up. I like to bark at luggage. I know, it's weird, but it gets you through the line quicker. Go right ahead. I didn't look good with long hair, but I kept telling myself I did. I look in the mirror, I go, you look cool, Dale. You look like Sam Elliott on Roadhouse. You're rocking it. And then my friends are just brutally honest. They're like, you look like the drunk sumbitch on Shameless. So here's what I found out about gingivitis. I just go into my jokes. Holy shit, how big is that bathroom? I did. Well, all right. Well, the world has changed. Men are pissing together now also. Come on in. You have a seat. My name's Dale. I like to smell markers. How many more motherfuckers are back there? Let's just start over. Take two. Gingivitis causes erectile dysfunction. Oh, you hear that silence in the room? There's a lot of men in their head right now going, I need to floss. I'm not making this up. I saw this on a poster at the dentist office, and I get it, because if I saw a woman with rotten gums, my erectile wouldn't function either. Have a seat. You ain't missed nothing. My name's Dale, and I'm allergic to glue. Come on in. Tell her what's going on. This is so bizarre. Women don't usually walk toward me. Usually they're running the other way going, stranger danger, stranger danger! Holy hell, don't go up there, Bill. It's like being at the zoo without the window. Yes, I did hear his ankle buzzing. I feel like this side of the room is a jury of not my peers. Very parole board feel over here. We don't know how you got out. But your mother called. I love it you got your arms crossed too, sir. That's like my father right there. Now that's enough. Don't let your mother know you're in the house. Get back in the tree. You know the rules. I was quarantined long before it was mandated. I miss the shutdown. I'm probably the only person that does. I miss getting a ride in a half-empty airplane. I don't know if anybody else ever got 19 rows of themselves on a Delta flight, but it was magical. First time in my life I felt rich. I'm just sitting there by myself. More peanuts, Janet! It was awesome. One flight I was on was so empty, they upgraded me to co-pilot. They still come to check on me. How's your flight today? This is a big window seat. They didn't like me on the Disney cruise because, according to them, I was more animated than their people. I was intimidating them. Goofy was in the corner going, gosh, he's going to take my job. They also got mad at me because I wore my life jacket every day. That freaked them out. You ever want to scare somebody? You go on a cruise, wear your life jacket on day 3 and stand in the elevator. People lose their mind. Is there something wrong with the ship? Then you just look at them very calmly and go, oh, I guess you weren't chosen. They hired me to be a comedian for kids on the Disney cruise, just kids. I know, when they said that, I was like, woo, you didn't get the paperwork, did you, sir? And I love kids. I'm a big kid, but when you get heckled nonstop by a 7-year-old, that brings back your belief in condoms. He was a piece of work, called me Ernest. Specifically, Ernest goes to crack. He even did the impression. When's the show gonna start, Byron? On mine, on mine, on mine. And I couldn't go off on him because it's a Disney cruise. Because what I wanted to say was, hey, I don't know whose kid this is, but let's take a picture of him because that son of a bitch is going overboard. Yeah, you're going to find Nemo. The show never starts. It's not supposed to. I'm a distraction. I'm up here to keep you busy so your parents can have some alone time and make another devil spawn like you. Then I figured it all out. You know why he was heckling me? Because his dad was in the room, and he's telling him what to say. He's giving him little signals. He's like an evil baseball coach. He's doing all this crap like that. I don't know any signals about baseball, so I just gave him the only signals I know. I was like, well, take it. And then I found out he didn't know anything about baseball either. He was deaf. I'm sorry, did we think this story was going to end well? I got fired. Mickey Mouse called me a shithead. That's what he screamed while I was swimming away. You better swim, you piece of shit! I made Mickey Mouse cuss. That's a ticket to hell. The only thing on my resume is sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and 2 of those things are a lie. Went to the doctor, thought I was going deaf, right? I wasn't going deaf. I had so much wax in my ear, when they flushed it out, it was a Yankee Candle. So now I'm just sitting there thinking, is that why I keep smelling pumpkin spice? Then he freaked me out and he told me you're not supposed to use Q-tips. Did you know that? You're not supposed to use a Q-tip because when you use one, it pushes everything in there further. Nobody ever told me that. And if they did tell me, I probably didn't hear it. That's how long I've been using Q-tips, forever, and I work it. I look like a Civil War soldier loading a musket. I'll be back there, Sergeant! I smell a lot of apple blossom right there. I know, you should see the show in here. You think this is weird? This is the culprit. Don't hate the messenger. I'm surprised my mouth and my tongue are still working with my brain. I thought they'd shut it down by now. We're stopping this mess. Because this is just music 24/7 right here. We are farmers. I'm connected with people in the back. That's my jam. I gotta tell you what, for a while there, I thought he was weird, but he's starting to hit on a lot of good points now. I really dislocated my knee, and then I had to go back on the road and do all my shows on crutches, because guess who's poor? I don't know if you've ever traveled the country on crutches, but here's what happens when you're at the airport. You get off the plane, a little cart pulls up, takes you to your next plane, because they don't want to wait 30 minutes while you're going, I'm coming, I'm coming. So this old man comes up in a cart, right? And he wasn't just old. Rigor mortis was right behind him. And he comes flying up and he goes, hey! And after about 30 seconds, I'm like, I'm over here, sorry. Then he told me the horn on his cart doesn't work, so he's going to have to yell at people to move. He's like, you still want to go? Hell yes, I want to go. This is going to be better than Disney. And you would have think he'd just drive the cart and say, excuse me, cart coming through, please move. No, this guy tried to do an impression of a horn. He did it like, man. Man, 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 man. Man, 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 man. And people were like, is he strangling a duck? And I'd like to say it looked like a one-man idiot parade, but I was next to him. So like any good parade, I just start throwing candy. That's it. I gotta go. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. drinking problem. Shocker. I know, I look so together. Here's how you know when you're drinking too much, when you walk into the liquor store and you're like, hey, y'all got anything new? Because I've drank all this. Yeah, I got to the point I could look at a different bottle. I knew what bottle would do what to me. I was like, well, Jack Daniels makes me pee on moving police cars. And tequila makes me appear in court. And my friends were like, how'd you know when to quit drinking, Dale? When'd you hit bottom? I'm like, oh, I never hit bottom. I grabbed a shovel and found out there's more below. I just kept digging and digging, and finally I ran into an Asian guy, and he was like, you gotta stop! And here's my problem. When I get drunk, I think everything's funny. I'll be driving home from the bar. I'll see a guy on the side of the road getting tested for a DUI. I will pull over on the side of the road and stand in line behind him. I've been studying for this for years, sir. I got this. Every time I saw a cop, it was an audition. Hi, my name's Dale. I'll be reading for the part of town drunk. He put his hand on his taser. Whenever you're ready. And I'm on the phone. Guess what, Mom? I got the part. Yeah, they did take my picture. Okay, I gotta go. I only got one phone call. I'd like to start out by saying I've had a lot of conversations today, but this is the first one with people. I'm not good at people. I get nervous and then I give out too much information. You know, I'm just like, hi, what's your name? I have a prescription. And then the voice in my head kicks in. You know, you got to connect with them. Tell them your hobbies. I'm like, I like to sit on the toilet till my legs go numb. One clapper, and it's fun to be the one clapper, isn't it? It's like a lonely hoedown. Like you're in a room by yourself. Swing your partner. I don't have one. I was quarantined long before it was mandated. I miss the shutdown. I do. I miss getting to ride in a half-empty airplane. I don't know if anybody else got to do that, but it was amazing. You had like 9 rows to yourself. You're like, more peanuts, Janet! Awesome. I was on this one flight. It was empty. They upgraded me to co-pilot. They come to check on me, and they're like, how's your flight today? This is the biggest window seat I've ever had. What I don't miss is that I lost 7 weeks of work in 2 days. And if you don't know what that means, that's the definition of non-essential. Yeah, and then to make matters worse, I had to stay at home with my wife for 25 godforsaken weeks. 25 weeks. You know how many days that is? I didn't at first, but I do now. Yeah, that's what I did during quarantine. Math.
Guess who gets paid in food stamps tonight? I'm gonna lick them. That's my hobby, licking stamps. I'll lick any stamp. My favorite stamp is tramp. I'm gonna lick the hell. Let me take that back. It depends on the size of the envelope is on. I ain't looking for a forever stamp. I gotta be able to make it one tongue swipe. If I need a Walmart scooter to get from A to B, you know, sorry, I scared you right there. It's like, shit, it's coming at me. That was in 3D. I could almost touch the ignorance on that one. I feel like I pretty much out-white trashed everybody. That's my job. I just want everybody outside later talking about the show, going, what'd you think? Did you have a good time? I left uplifted. I feel awesome. The sign said comedian, but what it ought to say is motivational speaker. He makes me want to be somebody. I'm I'm going back to ITT, Earl. I'm going to learn to draw. I have a DVD for sale, and you might as well buy it because nobody's going to believe what happened. All right, hello. Cool. Thank y'all for clapping. I appreciate you clapping. Some of you didn't clap, but that's okay. Personally, I think it's funny as hell when you don't clap because you got this look on your face like, we didn't come here to do shit. I work. I ain't doing a goddamn thing. I work hard, and I'll tell you what, when I go to work, nobody claps for me. They just say, make me a sandwich and shut up. You want somebody to clap for you, I suggest you buy a little toy monkey carried around with you all day. That's right, people. It's gonna get weird. The only reason I'm here, you look like you're texting for help already. You're sitting there right in the front row. All I gotta do is hit 1, and you're out of here. Don't get near me. 10-foot bubble, goddammit. 10-foot bubble. I can tell this sumbitch ain't right. I saw him this morning in the window licking it at PetSmart. I wasn't for sale, I was cleaning. It's funny when you got your cell phone because the light shines right in your face and it looks like you're telling a ghost story to your crotch. Like it was a dark and stormy night. I don't know what would be scary to a crotch. I guess if you're a guy, you'd be like, and then Lance Armstrong showed up. Oh my God! Because he's got one ball.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen, I've been doing this for 15 years, and I have worked with hundreds of comics. Your headliner tonight, a very good friend of mine. I've always aspired, to be as funny as him. He's a respectable guy and a good friend. And, his introduction tonight, I really don't want to bore you with all the things he's done. I don't want to bore you with his television credits or the awards or the upcoming movies he's coming up in, or it's some of it is true, sir. Listen, Dale's not qualified to do a lot of things, and this is the one thing he's allowed to do in public. So anyway, but I don't want to bore you with his resume, okay? How I want to introduce him tonight is I actually want to introduce him a way one of your own people here in Charlotte County have viewed Dale. They were actually in these seats just like you, and they had come to one of Dale's shows. And this is actually, it's on TripAdvisor. So after the show tonight, please go on TripAdvisor and rate the comics, the food, the parking lot, whatever you want. The restrooms, hopefully there's toilet paper. You know what I'm saying? We had to borrow some from another store. But anyway, I don't want to bore you with his intro. I would really like to read you, because this woman, she put her heart into this review of Dale, and I just don't think I could say it any better myself. In fact, Dale, God forbid anything ever happened to you, I really think you should put this on your headstone when you die. So, enough said. I just want to read you what someone else has said about Dale Jones. I went to Visani's last night. The first comic, Ron, was fabulous. And the second, Dale Jones, was the worst I have ever seen or heard. He was a redneck with no imagination. It was the most painful hour of my life. You feel the love? His voice made fingernails on a chalkboard sound melodious. The service was great and the soup was fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, if you happen to go on TripAdvisor tonight after the show and you feel the same way this woman did, I apologize, okay? But this is a good friend of mine. but please don't give this place a bad name. There's cooks, there's waitstaff that need a job. Dale's not here every week, thank God. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage a good friend of mine, very funny man, Mr. Dale Jones.